survive, and I'm a firm believer. We'll forever strive just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can turn me sick. I will let alone negativity. Nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness. Show me a lion. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Strength. No weakness. Show me a lion.
This is Ridealong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.
Are you looking for some early cash for Christmas?
Yes!
Then join the fun online. Play Waggy Team Virtual Bingo. Because on Sunday, October 4th, from 6 p.m., you can win not 10, not 15, but a whopping $20,000 US cash. And the best part is, tickets are only $20 US. Available at gotofet.com or special box offices island-wide. And if you don't have any idea how to play, then visit our main office at Bruce Street Mall, where one of our agents will go through the process step by step. Remember, Sunday, 4th October, Waggy Tea Virtual Bingo is now $20,000 US. You don't want to miss this.
You gotta be firm in this time, son. You gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer.
What's up? What's up? Welcome to the ride. Welcome to the ride. Thursday on the ride. Thursday on the ride. How you guys doing? As you're coming, guys, go ahead and share the thing, share the program. As you're coming, go ahead and share the program. Put it on your page and say, I share. Share it up, put it on your page and say, I share. Simple, simple, simple. Simple, 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 simple. How are you doing, guys? Let me see who we have inside the ride already. Hey, Didi, how you doing? Big up yourself, Didi. I see you. Thank you for sharing. Sonia McKee-John. How you doing, Sonia McKee-John? Welcome. Welcome inside the ride. I share. I share is the keyword. Mo Franklin, big up yourself. Thank you so much for sharing. Charlotte Nurse. How you doing? Big up yourself, Charlotte Nurse. Welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. Everybody share. Everybody share. Guys, today, I want to really dedicate a large portion of the show to talking to our guests, right? And also we have Dr. Panchoo, who's a clinical psychologist, on the show with us today. So it's gonna be a long pants. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be kind of long. But it's the substance we're trying to get out of this here today, right? Now, recently there have been a video that was circulating, that been circulating on social media that broke my heart, broke a lot of people's heart, looking at it at face value. So I wanted to look a little bit deeper, go a little bit deeper, and try to understand what is really happening here. All right, so we have a family member, in fact, the person who uploaded the video to social media. She's live with us on the line, and also Agustine Panchoo. So it's gonna be a very thorough discussion, and of course your input is always welcome. We always welcome your input. I want you guys to participate, right? But what I want you guys to do right now is share. What I want you to do right now is share. Share. Everybody just share it. I'm doing that as well. And I'm also, there's a page that I have to and must put it on. There's a few pages that I have to and must put it on. Let me do that right now as well. Very important. Very, very important. And if you have a page or a group, right? A page or a group that you're associated with, that you're affiliated with, and you want your friends over there to be able to watch the program, this is your opportunity to tag it over there or copy it on that page. All right, so I'm going to do that right now, because I think this program today is going to bring very valuable and needed information as it relates to child protection in the Caribbean, specifically dealing with child protection in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And we're going to answer a lot of questions here. So go ahead and share it on a page. Share it on a page.
I feel like beat my chest. I feel like beat my chest. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
All right, share it, share it, share it, share it. Give me about 30 seconds again, guys. Make sure everybody share. 30 seconds. Make sure everybody share and make sure everybody put it on their page. Everybody share. I'm done. I'm good. I did my job for the day. All right. All right. All right. We're good to go. Yeah, we got, all right. We got good. Right. We got everybody online. All right, guys. As I said earlier that earlier this week, I got about 5 correspondence from different viewers that asking us to look into this particular video right now. It is heartbreaking to see what happened, what transpired. I mean, it's very there. You could see it. You know, there's a child, of course, looking like, you know, the person who we now confirm that that's his mom. And, you know, the optics of it doesn't look good, right? He's been pulled and tugged. Very evident also, you can see that the child has a rope to his waist. And child was screaming. A lot was being said there. But to understand what happened prior to this is, right now we have the aunt who is online with us right now. Let me see if we could bring her in. Olivia, are you there? Hold on one second. Right now we. Hold on one second. Olivia, online. All right, stand by, Olivia, before you say anything. I wanna. Okay, I know why I'm getting the audio. All right, Olivia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. George.
All right, welcome to the Ride, Olivia. Thanks for joining us here. We're not able to see you. We were trying to get you on video, but we understand that we have some connection problem, but we're hearing you just fine. Olivia, you uploaded this video on social media, right? First of all, tell us what happened prior to where the video started, where we saw the video start. What happened before?
Okay, well, I was home and I was there on an online class and I heard my nephew crying coming up the stairs. So I cut the class and I went out to find out what happened.
Right.
And he came with a rope around his waist and he's full of mud all over his skin. His face had a bruise on it. So I proceeded to ask him, well, what is wrong with you? And he said, he kept crying, but I could hear what he's saying. My brother tied me up with a rope and he was dragging me with the rope in the drain and he let worms walk on me and so.
Okay, so just for identification purposes, the child in the video, that is your nephew.
That is my nephew, yes.
The lady that is holding him, that is his mom.
That is my sister.
And that is your sister.
Yes.
Okay, all right, proceed.
Yes. So in questioning him, I ask him, well, what it is happened to you and so. But normally I do not just take any word for it. So I tried calling someone who is close to the area that he lived to find out what it is that was happening. But before I proceeded to call that person, I called Child Protection, one of the worker, and I spoke to her and I let her know that I just received this complaint, but look what is happening. And she's saying to me, what it is happening. I explained, and then she went on to say, well, you know, we'd have to investigate because, you know, the child know how to manipulate people and manipulate the system. But I said, look at his condition. I can take a photo and send to you. At that time, my mom had already taken a photo of his condition. And then she went on to say, you know what, you and your sister is not going on too good, so I cannot just take your word for it. I would have to investigate. So I said to her, you can investigate, but in the meantime, I am going to investigate and I'm going to get back to you. So I hung up the phone and then I called um, someone who is close to where he lived, and she was able to give me the story, and the story that he said they added up. So I called her back and I said, this is my story. That is from my investigation. So you could do yours. She said she's going to speak to the mother. But I didn't hear anything from her concerning that up to this point as to if she did an investigation or anything. So I was sitting there. I couldn't go to the scene because I was trying to finish up with my class and then to go to find out. But then before that happened, a young lady called out to my mother and she said, I'm going up the road to come back. When I come back, I have something to tell you. She didn't stay long. She maybe spent about 15, 20 minutes and she came back. And then she called us and she said she was fasting. And look, she saw the brother and two other little girls have him with a rope and they were pulling him up and down in the drain and so. And then he told me a man stopped and the man spoke to them and he told them behave themselves and whatever the case was. So maybe about an hour after, my sister came and she just burst through the door and it's like, Jaquan, I come for you. You had too much and you this and you that and you leave and you come down here. So I said, what is wrong with him coming down here? I said, you come. You need to find out what it is happen at home. And because look the news I received and you're not investigating, you just come and you want him to go with you in that aggressive manner. So I said, that cannot happen. I said, in the meantime, you have the other child with you, which is his older brother, which the complaint was made about us. So what was taking place, he was bullying him and so. And she didn't even care to ask what it is happened between them more than she wanted him to go with her.
Right.
And the child was crying and screaming at the time. So I tell her, no, he cannot go with you in with that kind of attitude that you have and the rage that you come with. So find out what it is happened to them before you take him to go. And she just insisted. Then the same rope that the brother used to tie him around the waist, she happened to hold on to that. And that is what she used to pull him out of my house. And that's where the video started. After
Wow.
I tried to, I got him away from her. He ran back inside, and then when he came and he stand in front of her, that's when she grabbed him another time. And then we, as I told you, after we tried to contain the fight and hold on to them and try to get him away from her, she decided that she's not letting go. And I said to her, before I have to damage you, I say, Richmond Hill is there. If it's down there, you want to go and kill your child, I just had to give up.
Right. Before you go
I
on there,
just had
before
to.
you go on there, Olivia, a lot of people have still asking, why upload the
Yes.
video though? Why you upload the video to social media?
I uploaded the video because I wanted someone to see what was happening because a number of times I reported and I reported to the person who is directly in charge of him after I got many reports and he came to my holding many times running away from leaks and I find enough is enough because I try speaking to them and it's like nobody's not listening. They're saying he is troublesome and he had issues at the home and so and I'm saying to them the method of correction that she is using is not right. Even though he's a handful or it seems that he is troublesome, but the manner in which you're trying to discipline him is not working. I said, remember, it's a child that was away from you for years. So you have to change the method that you're using. Because if you're not going to show him love, you're not going to pet him, and you're showing him that you have preference because the other one seems that he could do what he wants, and this one cannot do anything, then you're showing a preference there, and it's not healthy for the child.
Right. All right. Stick a pin
Yeah.
right there. Stick a pin right there. And let's talk with our professional on site here. Dr. Agustine Panchoo, who is a clinical psychologist. Dr. Panchoo, what's your first reaction to this video? All right. Dr. Pancho is Dr. Pancho, your audio is muted. Unmute your audio.
All right. Okay. Should be good now.
Pancho, you there?
You hearing me?
All right, we're gonna sort
Yes.
out Dr. Pancho's audio right there, guys. You're watching Ride Along live on a reaction to this particular video. I know a lot of people have been asking, so why don't have the mother on here? And we did made several attempts to get the mother side of the story. She declined from sharing any part of the story with us. I spoke with her earlier today on WhatsApp, and it was conversation was not fruitful with her. She didn't want to speak to us at all to share her side of the story, which is I think is important that we understand her side of the story. But she's reluctant to give us that that side, at least for now. Dr. Pancho, are you there? Dr. Pancho, are you there? Okay, Dr. Pancho, are you there?
Yes, I am. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Go right ahead, Dr. Pancho. What's your initial reaction on this video, Dr. Pancho?
Hi. Okay, fine. Good. Well, initially, I must confess that I struggled to get to the end of the video. I thought it was not the video, but what was going on was really a traumatic experience for this young man. Of course, it is a traumatic experience. So it was very difficult for me to watch. And so when this video was sent to me, immediately I made contact with CPA because I'm not on island. So I immediately made contact with CPA yesterday and asked them to investigate. And the response was, yes, there is an investigation going on. Read the video and the situation of the child. But it's a very difficult one for persons who work with children and understand to look at. What we're seeing there, it's a lot of trauma for this young person.
Yeah. No, Dr. Pancho, reports are that this child have been in CPA custody, child protection custody in the past, meaning that, and that brought me to the understanding that they know of the child and they know of the relationship of the child and the mother. In this particular case, was it a wise or prudent thing to have the child back with the mother, or should CPA investigate the situation more before they reunite the child with the mother?
In child development and in social services, as the provision that CPA provides for families and our children in Grenada, the best, everywhere you go, the research says that the best person or the best environment for any child to thrive is with the biological. Under normal circumstances, the biological parents are the best person to care for their children. However, in many cases, as we know about, that is not so because the parents sometimes prove to be incapable of taking care of their children. I want to think that in this situation, given the fact that CPA had to intervene while he was very young or younger, because he's still young, when he was younger, is an indication that somewhere along the line, the parent and the parents may not have been capable of taking care of him. So there's no question. You ask the question, should he have been returned to the parents? Because I do not know, I have intimate details about the case currently. I cannot make a comment about whether or not CPA made a mistake by returning him to the parent. However, what I conclude though, Junior and listeners, is that based upon what I'm seeing right now, it tells this person is not a fit and proper person to handle the needs of this young man.
Yeah. let me see if I could join back Olivia. Olivia, log off. Olivia, if you could log off the platform and let's just talk on WhatsApp. Just log off the platform and let's just communicate on WhatsApp. Because we're getting an echo. We're getting an echo. Olivia, log off the platform and let's just communicate on WhatsApp.
Sorry.
All right, Olivia.
I logged in because I couldn't hear Mr. Panchoo, so I logged in to hear him. So whenever you need to talk to me, I'll just cut him off.
Right. Okay.
Cut
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Olivia.
Yes, just
Go ahead. Go ahead.
just a little insight as to how he got into the custody of CPA, right?
Right.
She left and she went to have a fight with one of the girlfriend of his father, and the person went right into the police station and she went after her. So the police said to her, "I'm going to arrest you." So she said to the police, "I have my child, my baby home, and I need to go and look after him." So I think they kept her, and one of the police proceeded to go to the home to look for the child. The child was left with a feeding bottle in his mouth, unattended. So that is how he ended up in the custody of child protection.
Okay. All right. Had there been any problems with the child and the mother in the past? Hence the reason why the child was taken away from the mother. And also, do you think that the child is reacting, because we did some investigation and we found out that the child father, I believe, is no longer alive. Is the child being affected psychologically? Well, you wouldn't know. I'll ask Dr. Pan for that. But have you seen visible signs that the child are being affected by this?
Okay, well, I cannot say because he was still young. He was less than 8 months when the father died. So he doesn't really have any idea as to who his father is or anything like that.
Okay.
And he went 8 months into the home. She used to make periodic visits to him, and so yeah. So
Right. Okay. All right. Let's jump back in with Dr. Pancho. Dr. Pancho, are you still there with us? Dr.
Yes, I
Pancho?
am. Yes.
Okay. Dr. Pancho,
Yes,
what
I
would be
am,
the
Junior.
normal what would be the normal what would be the regular state of play or the situation where the CPA would take a child from a parent, from a mother, um, and what would be the examination? What would CPA have to do to validate that that child should go back to that parent? Do they normally do some kind of test or interview to find out if it's a safe environment? What's the process?
Okay, so junior children are not just removed from their parent and or the because of women fancy. There is always the need to establish that the child or children are, according to this aunt, child was in an unsafe environment, and CPA is charged with the protection of children in Martinique. So for CPA to remove the child, they had to determine that there was a risk of danger for the child or children. In this case, they established that. Now, for the return of a child to a parent who has lost his or her child to CPA or to the foster care system, be a whole nation. There must be evidence of parenting. Usually, parents have to parenting education. If it's substance use, the parent or parents have, they will have to undergo treatment for substance abuse and substance misuse. If it's anger management, in case of physical abuse, the parent will have to go to anger management classes in addition to parenting classes. So there are quite a number of precautionary measures and safety measures that are taken to before a child is returned to the parent. So I don't know what was the criteria CPA used to return this young man to his. But what I am stressing, Junior, based upon what I'm seeing in the video, with a cigarette in her mouth and trying to manhandle this child in event, there is a lot of violence. You know, the video is a very violent video towards a child. In fact, whether it was a child and or so, there is a lot of violence coming through from the parent in that video, and I dare say there is evidence, absolute evidence, that this parent is not prepared and already, or maybe incapable of dealing with the challenges of taking care of a young person, a young man like this. How old is the child, Junior? We can ask the auntie. How old is he?
Yeah, I think we have her on the live right now. I think we got her on right now. So let's see if we can link her in. Olivia, unmute your microphone so we can hear your audio. Olivia, unmute your microphone.
Yes, Mr. George.
All right. Okay, cool. You're good now. You're good now. All right, Olivia.
Yes.
Dr. Panchoo was asking how old is the child?
The child is 9 years old.
Dr. Panchoo, are you hearing her?
Tells us a lot because that child was taken away as a baby from the mother, and I don't know how old he was when he was returned. However, Junior, you have to understand a lot of things. The child is a difficult child, exhibiting a lot of challenging behaviors. There is no question, because what the aunt says is that he is a difficult child. Maybe he doesn't listen. 9-year-old at this time. We have to go back to his early childhood, way back before this 9 years that we're talking about. We have to understand how children bond. And if the child was removed when he was 8 months old, it tells us that this child didn't have the opportunity to bond with the mother. Away in foster care in those very formative first 2-3 years of his life, didn't have the experience to feel secure and safe with his mother. And so now at 9 years old, it is a kind of a forced attachment and a forced bonding that is happening there. And the child is resisting. There's no, the child is resisting the mother. So the child being traumatized in the very formative years of his life continues to be traumatized now that he's 8-9 years old, traumatized by the way he is treated by the mother, by the way his father is non-existent in his life. I don't know if he has other supporting family members who take care of him and who look after him. It seems as though the aunt does play a role, but when the biological mother in her zone and in her anger at the moment, I don't know who she will listen to. The video really disturbs me.
Right. Dr. Panchoo, I don't know if you could get a little closer to your Wi-Fi, but your audio is kind of cracking up a bit, and that might be an effect of your internet signal. So that's one of the problems there that we get in. Olivia, unmute your mic again. Where is the child right now, Olivia?
Mr. George, the child is with me.
Okay, so the child is currently with you.
Yes, he is.
Okay. All right. What's the plans for the child? Is the child going to be with you? Is the child going to be living with you, or is child protection communicating with you to get a child? Is the child going to be reunited with the mother? What's the plans? Olivia? All right. Let me ask you that, Dr. Pancho. Should the child be reunited with the with the mother, or should Child Protection Service take the child at this point? What is the decision of Child Protection Agency in this particular juncture of the situation? What should Child Protection Agency do, Dr. Pancho?
No, yeah, but Junior, this moment, based upon the video, and that's all I can. Of course, the words of the that and the video, it tells me that this child is in danger of being seriously harmed and seriously hurt and further traumatized. And that's the point I really want to make. The child is in danger of growing up really. He is not going to enjoy life. He's not going to have unless given an opportunity to thrive. It There is no question that the first 9 years of this child's life has been a very difficult one for him. This child did not ask to be brought into the world, but the parents, the biological parents, have not done justice to the upbringing of this child. And we don't even know what transpired. There again, Junior, we do not even know what transpired while this child was in foster care. There is a lot of research and a lot of evidence to point the foster care system could be as abusive as from the home from which they are taken. Sometimes even worse parents or parents from whom they have been taken. So the foster care system is not a foolproof system. It's not the best, an alternative best system. The best system for raising children are the biological parents and or the guardian that are closely related to the children. In this case, this child has had 9 or 8.5 years of trauma, and it's going to take a lifetime. Mark my word, Junior. It is going to take a lifetime to undo the hurt and the trauma and the effects of what this young man is going through right now. And I don't think that, given the things that I'm looking at now, people can say, oh, maybe this is a one time, she was really angry, etc. And this is a one-time thing, but I don't think, based upon the behavior of the mom, this is not a happenstance event. This is not a one-time thing. It seems as though she just does not have the skill to be a parent to this young man.
Yeah, and I asked the question earlier of if the child should go back. I'm not advocating that the child do go back, but the big overarching question is, why did the child brought back in the first place? So to avoid that mistake from happening again, is there anything to prevent that? Like, is
maybe the aunt could, maybe.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pancho.
Very good. Maybe Junior to help us figure this out if she knows.
Yeah, we lost the connection
when
again.
A child, Junior, when a child is taken from a parent, a child is taken away from a parent, there has to be a certain level of assurance to the public, to the child, and of course to CPA, who is the parent body for removal of children in Grenada. There has to be some form of that if that child is returned, he is going to be safe. There has to be evidence of that. So in my mind, I am thinking that CPA did its work and did that child was safe, or the environment at home was safe enough for the child to return. And was done and felt it was safe. I am sure that they're looking at this video now and they are concluding maybe maybe we made a mistake. Maybe we did all of our T's and dot all of our I's in concluding that it was a safe time or a safe place to return this child. So now the child is not safe. And I'm glad that the child is with an aunt. And I'm hoping that as soon as CPA does this investigation, they will determine that where is a safe place for this child. This child is a safe place. He needs a nurturing place. He needs a rich, warm environment in which to undo the that he's through, so that he can start to regain trust and feeling safe and feeling loved. And unless that opportunity is not afforded to this child, he is just going to grow up with a lot of resentment, a lot of hatred, a lot of anger, and a lot of bewilderment for society, for people, especially Junior.
Yeah. Judy is saying to the child aunt and grandmother she applaud the effort. After all, after the video, the CPA and the police. Okay, so I'll take it again. I applaud them on all the effort. It's sad after this video for the CPA and police to bring the child back to that environment, which I don't think would happen, right? Which I don't think should happen. Pancho, you involved in a lot of this incident, a lot of these things. In fact, you're someone that teach the CPA, Child Protection Agency, of how to handle situations like this as it relates to the child and the psychological assistance that is needed for the child. What do you recommend happen at this point in time for the protection of for the sanity of this child? What do you recommend to CPA?
Child, the communication or the contact between mom needs to be immediately terminated. That's my first bet.
Okay.
This child is a difficult child. And this child is difficult because, and you see, Junior, I don't even know. I wish I had the opportunity to see the child and probably to evaluate him and or to talk with prior here. But I don't have that opportunity because we don't even know whether or not this child has some physiological deficits. It could be that the child has physiological deficits, maybe deficits in comprehension, maybe deficits in cognitive understanding. Maybe the child has developmental delays. I don't know that. However, based upon the evidence of him being Child Protection Authority services, foster care system, I know this child has a lot of emotions and emotional deficits. So if that child has physiological deficits and we know he has emotional deficits, we must conclude that this child is going to be a very child to manage and to parent and to discipline. It therefore means the person understanding of an emotional challenges, who understands how to deal with children who have been traumatized, who understands how to provide rich and nurturing environment for children. It means that this child has to have that for him to really recover.
Yeah.
And with this mother, I am saying the very first step for CPA is to make sure that they terminate contact between child and parent until, as of time, they can safely determine that he can go back to her. And it's going to take a lot of work that is realized.
Yeah. Olivia, unmute again. I know you said that the child is with you currently. How is he coping after this traumatic experience? And do you know if there have been other experiences like this that he was exposed to? Olivia?
Mr. Judge, he's coping okay. It's just that he's a bit traumatized because what happened last night, he went to sleep, and when my mom went to check on him, he had a scissors. Because what he's saying is that when she comes, he's going to deal with her. So it's because he's trying to put up a defense, because whenever she comes in this aggressive manner, it's really traumatizing for him.
Hold
And
on.
it's not
hold
healthy
on.
because I tried speaking him out of it, and
Olivia, are you
child
saying
protection indicated that.
Olivia, sorry to cut you, but are you saying that the child has a scissors?
Hello? Yes?
Yeah. Are you saying that the child is defensive with a scissors?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. He's saying that it is method of defense. If she come, he's going to deal with her, and I have to talk him out of it because he's really traumatized, because in his sleep he would cry out that the other brother, you're punching me, and you abusing me. That's what he's saying, talking in sleep. So I spoke to him, and he said to me that it's his defense. But if she come to interfere in ways, that is what he's going to do.
Wow. So Pancho, that even more serious than I first thought. The child might be more damaged than we initially thought. He would need a lot of assistance because he's defensive now. He has weapons, and he wants to target his mom. This is a serious. This is even more serious than we first thought, Pancho.
Because, Mr. Judge, what happened? This child came back to the home, and he's seen things that he's not accustomed to. Remember, he left as a baby. He's
Right.
seen her smoking, and she's drinking, and he said to her, "I'm going to call the police." And that's where it started. She beat him, and my brother had to run in defense of him because he tried to jump out a door from the leaks, because he's speaking up against things that is not right. So that is why she's dealing with him in that manner. However, the older one is accustomed to this life. As I just say, accustomed with the bandit life. So he knows that. But this child is into a home with things that he's not accustomed to. And then the abuse is not only coming from the mother, it's coming from the brother as well. So it's like he has nobody to defend him, because whenever he complains against the brother, he would get the licks for it instead. That's what happened in the case yesterday, because I have another video which I happened to get from his tablet, how it all started with the brother. You could see when the video gets fuzzy, he's beating him with a leather belt, and he's trying to cry out to the other persons, the neighbors around, to come to help him.
Pancho, are you hearing me, Pancho?
Yes, man. I'm Junior. Junior, the more I listen,
Uh-huh.
I listen about the history of this child,
Uh-huh.
angry I get, and probably is the more disturbed I am feeling, because this child is living in constant fear. This is what has happened, Junior. This child is living in constant fear. I want to establish one thing, another thing, Junior. I am certain, and I haven't met her, so I want to assume that this mother is
Okay. Hold on.
mentally
Pancho,
ill.
Pancho,
I
give me a
don't
quick
think
favor.
and
Hold on, Pancho. Pancho, give me 1 second. Pancho, 1 second. Here's what I want you to do for me. Are you close to your Wi-Fi, or is your Wi-Fi is your internet close to where you are? Because
Yeah.
your audio is breaking up, and is a result of your internet. Is there any way that you could get closer to your box or turn on your data? I'm not sure, but it's breaking up consistently. Guys, stay with us here. When we come back, we're going to get a response from Pancho on the question
Let
of
me see it,
child and
because
what.
I'm trying.
We'll be right back, guys, right after these messages.
Are you looking for some early cash for Christmas? Yes! Then join the fun online. Play Waggy Team Virtual Bingo. Because on Sunday, October 4th, from 6 p.m., you can win not 10, not 15, but a whopping $20,000 US cash. And the best part is, tickets are only $20 US. Available at gotofet.com or special box offices island-wide. And if you don't have any idea how to play, then visit our main office at Bruce Street Mall, where one of our agents will go through the process step by step. Remember, Sunday, 4th October, Waggy Tea Virtual Bingo is now $20,000 US. You don't want to miss this.
Hi guys, we are back. Dr. Panchoo, I think, sorted out his issues, hopefully. And also, we're going to open up the phone line, guys. If you want to input on this topic, you could call us live. The phone number is 718-701-5720. You could call via WhatsApp or you could call direct. Again, the number is 718-701-5720. If you could pin that number there for me. If you have any input on this topic, any other information that you could add to this topic, please give us a call, 718-701-5720. The number is on the screen, and we're asking Deanne or Lynn or someone there in the Ridealong chat to just pin that number there so people could have that number, 718-701-5720. Panchoo, are you there? Unmute your audio, Panchoo, if you're there. All right. Olivia, unmute your audio. Guys, again, we open up the phone line, 718-701-5720. We're talking about this incident here, this video that was recently uploaded by the aunt, which is Olivia. She's on the line with us. Olivia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. George.
Yes. Olivia, have you spoken to anyone from CPA recently within the past couple of days about this incident?
Yes, I spoke to one of the workers yesterday, in which, as I stated earlier, she said that she's going to investigate, and she didn't get back to me based on her investigation.
Okay, all right. So they're working on it. Panchoo, are you there? All right, we're still having some connection problem with Panchoo and his internet, but we open up the phone line, guys. 718-701-5720. 718-701-5720. Call in live, or you could also call in on WhatsApp, the same number, 718-701-5720. We're talking about this incident right here relating to this child. You see the video very clear. It upset a lot of people on social media. It's very obvious, painfully obvious, that the child is being pulled. He has a rope around his waist, and he's been pulled with that rope, and it's very, very upsetting. Right now, the child is in the custody of the aunt, and she's on the phone with us, who said that the child has been, traumatized by this whole incident. And she's there, and, she's in a safer place where with the aunt. Olivia, how long would the child be staying with you? What's the agreement there? As far as, because I know you guys not gonna have the mother send the child back to the environment that he came from. So what's your arrangement with you keeping that child, and how long would you be keeping the child for? Olivia? All right, Olivia, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, Olivia.
Yes, I'm here. You hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you now. What's your
Yes,
arrangement?
I'm saying to officially...
Go ahead.
To officially announce, right? He's in the custody of my mom. I just live close by, so he's off and on. But he's at my mom. That's where he sleeps and so.
Right. And
the arrangement is that the child protection, they call a little earlier, and they arrange to come to pick him up tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So the child protection agency made arrangement to come pick up the child tomorrow. And again, you guys, more and more you look at the video, and just as Panchoo, this is actually the first time I'm watching the video in its entirety. Yeah? I didn't see a lot of this stuff after the 5 seconds mark. So I'm watching it with you for the first time, and it's very upsetting how, you know, the child has been pulled, how the child has been handled, and I could understand how why the child is so traumatized at this point in time. It's just a sad situation. You know, it's a sad situation, a traumatizing situation. I could understand why the child is traumatized as it is right now. Olivia, have you tried to speak with a mom? Are you guys on speaking terms? And did she talk to you guys about, you know, why she handled him like that? What is the relationship, and what is she saying?
Okay, to be honest with you, Mr. George, I have no, we are not on speaking terms, but if I have to speak to her, I normally do. Because she came and I told her the way you are trying to reason is not like that. Let me help you to reason. You have the other child with you. Let us talk. And after you finish speaking to them, you would remove him and he would go with you. So I said to her, you cannot bring salt to feed that child to get him to go. You have to bring sugar. And if you do not calm down, then you will not get him to go with you.
Right.
She wasn't listening to anybody. She didn't want to hear anything we have to say.
Right. All right. I think Pancho is back. Pancho, you're back with us?
Yes, I am back. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you a lot better right now. Pancho, finish your thought. You were saying before you got cut off.
Yeah, listen, Junior, I was talking about the mental health or the mental stability of the mother. And I have a serious question, Junior. I haven't met her. I haven't done an analysis or evaluation of her. But based upon the behavior that I'm seeing and the evidence that the aunt is talking about, I want to conclude that she is not emotionally or mentally well. I think she has some deficits. It therefore means that will translate in the way that she deals with a difficult 9-year-old. Now, this child is only 9 years old. A typical 9-year-old is a rambunctious young man or young woman who likes to challenge authority. They are on the verge, 9 years old is on the verge of what we call prepubescent period in their development. They like to resist and they like to challenge authority. But I also want to include the fact that this young man is emotionally scarred based upon the first 8 years of his life. He has never had the security and the love and warmth of his parents. He was thrust into foster care. And even at the age of 9, look at this. He has been taken away from the foster care system. So he is no longer in foster care. He is now placed back with the mother, whom he has not had a lot of bonding time. When a child is taken away, we have to understand that it takes a very long time and it is very slow. It's a tedious, slow process to be able to bond and to attach again with the mother. And so I think a mistake was made to send him back to the parent. There is no question about that. At this time, we need to save this young man. And I am hoping that Grenada will listen and to look at the video, and that Child Protection Authority will get deeper involved in trying to redeem this young child. This child needs redemption. He needs love. He needs warmth. He needs security. He needs a stability in his life. And he needs to get away from this abusive brother and this abusive mother. There is no question about that. He needs to be taken away far, far from them, where they have no access to him until one day things get better with them and or with him, and he chooses to want to be around them.
You know, Maud Franklin just said something very, very important there. I want to highlight it. He said, hurt people hurt people. Please help the mother seek professional assistance. What could be done to assist the mother? Because it's obvious that the mother may be going through a traumatic experience as well. from a psychological point of view, which you deal with, Dr. Panchoo, what could be done to assist the mom?
Oh, there is a whole lot that could be done. The point is, Junior, Grenada has very limited resources and very limited opportunities for psychological restoration. That is probably the singular most important thing that Grenada really does have a deficit in rehabilitative services for mentally and or emotionally disturbed adults. So what we may find is that there are quite a number of therapists and counselors in Grenada who provide therapeutic services. So I want to suggest that CPA or the Ministry of Social Development afford this mom to go to parenting classes, anger management. There is no question that she needs substance use education and counseling. And it is going to be a long time before she is able to be considered fit to really parent this young man. At this time, she needs a lot of psychological help. The point too, Junior, we have to understand, Grenada does have a limited amount of rehabilitative services for psychologically ill people. We have a limited amount, but also the second most important piece in getting in getting better is the willingness of the person. And I am going to say maybe that might be the most challenging thing for someone to get her to understand that she needs help. Because it's one thing for the court or CPA to say, before you get to see your child again, you have to go through 20 hours of anger management, 20 hours, 24 hours of substance use education. You have to go through 10 counseling sessions. It's okay to say that, but how do we get an adult to commit to this kind of a rehabilitation is going to be a challenge. Because I tell you, based upon what I'm seeing, she is a disturbed person. She is not emotionally healthy. And because she is not emotionally healthy, she is transferring that illness to her parenting. And it's not going to work out good for either one of our children. In fact, I want to suggest that the whole family, she and the oldest son, need to seek therapy because he too is not in an emotionally healthy state. You know, the report is that he is the one tie up the brother. He tied him up. We do not tie up children. It doesn't, unless it is for their safety. If they are doing self-harm, we do body restraint. Sometimes we may do a prone, we may do something to restrain the child from hurting others or hurting himself. But for regular bad behavior, not obeying, we do not tie children, Junior. Children are not animals that need to be tied. We have to remember that. And this child is in a very unhealthy place, and it really does not sit well with me. And I know there are so many professionals in Grenada with whom this video is not sitting well. And Grenadians, we need to get up and we need to fight for our children. We need to protect our children. We need to do everything in our powers to ensure that children are kept safe, because children are going to hurt children. You're right, Junior. Hurt people. And if the cycle of hurt continues, we can expect nothing positive coming from this young man. And this young man is just crying out Junior, when you look at the video and you see this young man crying out, this young man is absolutely in distress and he's crying out. And all he needs, Junior, is for somebody to rescue him from this hard life. Rescue me from this hard life. Take me in, understand me, I might be a challenge because I have been traumatized all my life, but love me, provide safety for me, feed me, clothe me, love me, tell me you love me, tell me I am important. Somebody out there could take this child and turn him around. And I guarantee you that somebody can really do that. And I'm hoping that through this video, through this program, somebody reaches out and say, yes, maybe it is the auntie, but somebody has to reach out and say, yes, I want to take this child and I want to love this child and I want to protect this child.
Yeah, because the next question that I had, Pancho, is that there's two kids. There's the older one, which is the other one, and there, of course, this one. Olivia, I don't know if you could jump in here and answer this question. How is the other child? Does he get abused? Have you seen any instances of abuse? Olivia? All right, Olivia's mic is still off. But Pancho, here we're talking about what we see on the video with this particular child. But what about the other child? Should he be continue to stay in that situation? Do we know of any abuse? Should Child Protection Service look into it?
Junior, the answer is easy for me. I do not even have to see. I just know that it is a very unhealthy environment for the older child. Look at what the older child is reportedly to be doing also. You know, he is engaging in abusive behavior towards his younger brother. It therefore tells me that he also is traumatized. He is also living. He is living that traumatized life, that insecure life, that hurt life. Hurt people hurt people. It's a cycle. And so this older brother, you know, he might be a little more obedient to the mother, but guess what? He is not in a healthy position. And I'm thinking and I'm saying that he too may need to leave the home. This mother needs help. She needs a lot of psychological help and she needs to get it fast. And both of her children, and we don't know if she has any more, but those two boys need to be placed in a safe place where they can regain themselves, where they can come back to life. This is what young boys, young men do. They live life. They enjoy life. And they are not enjoying life because they're living in an insecure, unhealthy environment.
Yeah, 718-701-5720. That's our number right here if anyone want to input on the topic. And a lot of people, okay, Olivia is back. Olivia, unmute your microphone. A lot of people posted and said that Olivia should have never uploaded the video. Pancho, what do you recommend for people, just people in the community, villagers, seeing occasions like that? Did Olivia do the right thing by posting this and taking this to social media?
Junior, I am glad that this auntie, Olivia, thank you. Olivia, thank you. Olivia, thank you 1,000 times for posting this video. Listen, it is hard, Junior and Olivia, it is really hard to watch this video. When I started to, I said, oh my God, there it goes again. And I turned it off. About 30 seconds into the video, I turned it off. And then somebody sent me a second one. And I said, no, it means that something really is happening here. And so I had to, after the second video that was sent to me, I had to literally bear the pains of going through the 2.5 minutes of torture for me and for the child. So I'm glad Olivia did it, because if Olivia did not do it, I don't know what would have happened to this young man, neither what would have been his, subsequent punishment for disobeying. So I'm glad she did. Now it's hard. Yes, it's hard to watch, but I'm glad, Olivia, thank you for posting it. And you asked the question, Junior, should other people come forward? Yes, 1,000 times. When you see children or people being wrong in society, whether it is by family, by loved ones, by the authority, by strangers. We need to speak out. We need to take care of our own. Too much abuse. Junior, Ride Along listeners, too much abuse is happening in Grenada that is going unreported, unnoticed, unfettered, because people are scared to report. People, it's not my business, it's not my concern. No, when it happens to one, it is your concern. We should not, our children, our women must not live in fear of being hurt by other people, especially loved ones. So when you see things like that, I think God invented internet for this very reason that it is being used for. A lot of people abuse it. Yes, I'm not talking about abusing the internet and the World Wide Web. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making good use of it. And I think Olivia did well to take the video. And I could hear in Olivia's voice in the video, do not do it. You're going to get in trouble. Stop it. Whatever it is that she was trying to get this mother to stop. The mother was bent on getting this young man to obey. I don't know where she wanted to bring him and what she wanted to do to him. But I'm glad, Junior, I'm really glad that this video came. And people who question it are people, I don't think they are thinking about the welfare of that young man. If you thought about the welfare, just the video itself is a tool to reach out for help. And I'm glad she did, Junior.
Yeah, because I noticed Olivia got a lot of flack. There had been a lot of posts that wasn't too supportive of her doing that. Olivia, are you back with us? Yeah. Olivia, are you back? Olivia, are you there? Hi guys, 71870.
Yes, I'm here, Mr. George.
Yeah, all right. Yes, Olivia. Yes. So Olivia, what next? I know that you said that the Child Protection Services did contact you, made contact, and they make arrangement to take the child. What next for you? Are you gonna try to make a better communication with I mean, it's not your responsibility, but it is your sister, and are you trying to make a better relationship, or are you guys trying to work on that, mend that relationship? What is the next step for you guys?
Mr. George, to be honest with you, I have no problem with my sister. My sister is just one who does not listen, and whenever you talk to her about something that would help her, she does not listen to anyone. At present, well, I couldn't stop her for his clothes. One of the young lady who was trying to speak to her and tell her that she needs to stop the abuse of the child, she cussed her, and instead of that, she took the clothes and she dropped it off for her and tell her, go and bring it for him. So I have to go and pick up the clothes. And as I was telling persons, I would not be able to keep him because I have my own challenge. I have my child, her father died and so on. I have my own challenge. And apart from that, I think the child needs to be further away from the area, because she said to him that even if it's in the school I have to get you, I will go to get you. So I don't think being in the same area, it would be beneficial to the child. And then again, she does not respect the police. And to me, to be frank, I think the police is afraid of her because nothing was done. They came, one of the officers happened to pass and he saw the child tied up. He spoke to them and he left. And he was the same one that came back and nothing was done. The child wasn't even taken to the doctor because he's complaining that he's getting pain. And so my mom had to bathe him with a blue soap and I still have to give him some other little saffron so to drink because he's complaining that he's getting a lot of pain because the rope that was around his waist, that is what she used to restrain him. And me and my mom literally had to shove our hands between the rope and the child's stomach and his back so that the rope wouldn't really cut his waist. So I think he has a lot of maybe internal damage, I could say. I'm not a medical doctor, but based on the complaints, I think he needs medical attention, and I think she needs to be disciplined by the law. That is only how she would learn, because as it stands, she thinks that the police is afraid of her, and she's not afraid of anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You see, and Junior, there goes my point. A part of what I have been saying. I think this woman is not mentally fit. I think she is mentally unwell. I don't think she is of a sound and rational mind. And so, Junior, let me ask Auntie. So, has CPA reached out to you to inquire about this child yet?
Yes, she did.
They didn't reach out to me to inquire. All the young lady called, and she said that she is going to pick him up tomorrow. And in picking him up tomorrow, I do not know where they are going with him, because on Monday they came to take him away from here for the same reason, and they dropped him back at a holding, and that is what happened. And I keep warning them of the situation. I keep telling them, you know, the mother is not the best person to have the child in her care. And on 4 occasions, they ordered my mother to send him back to the mother. And that is why I did the video. And I sent it to one of the workers who is directly in charge of him, so that she can have a look. Because whenever I speak to her, she is using that you and your sister is not on terms, and she do not want to hear what I have to say. So that was the reason I had to upload the video and do the video, so that persons could see what it is I'm talking. Because my sister is one who likes to manipulate people. She would paste her story and she would deviate from the problem, and that is why she doesn't lend herself to get help. Because instead of she admit and say, well, okay, that was not the way to correct him, and listen, you know, she needs to speak to the 2 of the children of hers and speak to them as children. She's not doing that. So she is not lending herself for help. And part of his behavior, as I saw one of the person commented, has a lot to do with that, because that is how she is from a young girl. And I said to her, you are 38 years now, and age is not bringing reason for you. She likes to cuss everyone. It's like you try correcting her, and trust me, she does not take correction from anyone. Mr. George reached out to me for her number, and I thought she would have, you know, by now settle down and speak to him. And I'm very surprised that he said she didn't want to speak to him. So that's just the situation, and it's really bad. I hope when they remove him from my care, that he is taken somewhere where she cannot harm him or anything. And from my end, wherever he is placed, I will try my best to support him as much as I can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Junior, thank you. I thank you, Auntie, because I'm glad that you echoed these words. A couple things you've said, and I want to remark about them. One, this child needs to be placed far away from the reach of the mother. There's no question. I'm sure when CPA takes him tomorrow, Auntie, they are going to put him in a place where she will not have immediate access. Access will probably come in when things really things do change for him and for her. At this time, it is a very volatile environment, unsafe environment for him, and she should not be allowed to have immediate contact with him. Secondly,
Mr. Panchoo, just to butt in a bit,
no, you're not. That's okay.
Yeah, the worker who I'm in contact with concerning him, what happened is when this child went into the home, we as the aunt and the grandmother had no means of reaching out to him. She was the one that used to visit him, because she never gave us any information. She told us do not have anything to do with her child, so we didn't have any contact. However, when he was a bit older, he was adopted by a young lady, which is his cousin. She took him to live with her. But because of the mother's mouth, as we would say in local terms, she liked to cuss, and so she had to return him back to the foster care. And when he went there, I had no idea, because he said to me, I used to be in the Queen Elizabeth home, and I said to him, I passed that way very often, but I didn't know you were there. And he said, yes, that's where he was. And the worker is claiming that I never seen this Miss Clara and this Olivia where all it was for that child all the time. And I had to say to her, you cannot tell me that. If I have no contact and no means of reaching him, then I cannot have a relationship with him, which I find was very rude. But
Yeah.
what and unprofessional. But what is surprising is me as the aunt and his grandmother, as she claimed, never had a relationship with him. But she's the one that used to visit him very often, and there is not a connection, and there is a connection with him, with the grandmother and the aunt. So maybe it's the love that he finds, and maybe the visits that she used to make maybe didn't make any sense because now he's out and things cannot be good among them. Because what I think she does is to look for sympathy. She would go to them and say, oh, she have no support from the family and she have this and she have that. And they're saying that they made an assessment and she's the right person. Now I'm wondering what kind of assessment that they did make to put him back into her case. And then he came back just over a month, and I don't think any one of them came on the ground to see how he's doing more than they would just call her, because she said that to the police. She said that to the police, and the police said to her, they do not need to call you, they need to come. Because on one occasion, when she asked to return him, and I said I would not send him back in that environment, she asked another worker who lives close by, but she's not directly in charge of him, to come and look at the situation because she's in St. George's and she cannot come up here now. And that same worker went to bring him back home, and the mother was not receptive. So she came back with him, and then they decided to take him back to the child protection. They kept him for 1 day and they carried him back. That's why he stayed with me for 2 weeks. But because of challenges, I tell them I am not able to take care of him full time. So she asked if I would like them to take him back. I said yes, but on the terms and condition that wherever he's placed, I will do what I can to support him. And lo and behold, they came for him on Monday and they carried him back right into the abusive home. And she was saying to him, just when the van was about to move out, is a manner that is good for you. So which means she wasn't willing to understand what he was telling her. She don't know the type of person Amanda is. So what I would say is that she prefers she send him for his death.
You know what? I'll let me make a little comment here, Junior, because as a professional who have some kind of a quasi connection with CPA, since I do training for them, I'm very familiar with a lot of their policies and their staff, etc. I can't support when you say she didn't care. However, what I could see coming from the evidence here is that, okay, let me backtrack a little. Grenada's foster care system is not a very holistic and inclusive and healthy one. The foster care system in Grenada has many challenges. Some of the challenges in the foster care system in Grenada is finding parents, foster care parents that are trained and ready and willing to open up their arms and their homes and their life to abuse children. So there is a challenge there. No, we do not have enough of that. We need some more foster care parents. Secondly, we need more resources. Junior, we need resources to train foster care parents, to train parents in parenting. We need that. Also, we need a lot of help in the foster care system. Given that, it is difficult for me, though, even with these challenges, though, it's still very difficult for me to understand why a CPA worker would visit the mother and conclude that this is the best place for the child. I cannot see how a CPA worker could come to that evaluation. I cannot see any evidence of that. And the video there, in fact, this video has been in circulation for 2 days. This child should have been placed in protective custody from day one. There is no investigation. A video of that nature, Junior, is sufficient evidence for a CPA transport to pull up at the home of this child, take the child, and put him in protective care immediately, the same time. There is no investigation. I am appalled. I am hurting. I am mad. I'm angry to say that there needs to be an investigation. There is a video. The child is a child. Then it's a violation of the rights of the child. The same night, watch, Junior, true foster care system and true professional child protection means 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, a van pulls up in the environment where the abuse is happening, and the child is taken away without a question and placed in protection. Period. And that was not
Mr. Panchoo.
The child is still out.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
I'm hearing you.
Yes, Mr. Panchoo. When the police eventually came on the scene, the child, the mother, and the brother was taken into the police vehicle and they dropped them home. Now, the child came back by me because he ran away, and I could not have sent him back because it was 4:33 a.m. in the morning. He went home and he said that the mother cursed for the whole night. And then she said to him, when I get up in the morning, I'm going to slice you like how they slice pumpkin. So he got up while they fell asleep. He said to me, he got up and he opened the door and he came down 4:33 a.m. in the morning. And I heard the person calling and I had to listen and look through my window to make sure it was him. He that was calling, and I had to call my mom and say, look, he's here, open up, let him come across. And I was very disappointed that the police took him and dropped them home without even, taking him to the doctor or even, really doing something about the mother and the brother. They sent him and he could have, been abused further over the night.
Yeah, Auntie, let me tell you something. Sad to say, Grenada police, they do not know how to handle that. They're not trained for that. Okay, and it is sad. It is sad to know that we have an established. It's Child Protection Authority is a governmental established organization to care and to protect all children in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And it is sad that the police, they do not understand. They don't even understand what it is to do what you're telling me there. They're not trained for that. And it is really sad. And I'm angry. And every time I hear and I see more, I'm getting angrier because they are not trained. And it is sad to know that in this 21st century, we're still at the point where police do not understand that part of child protection. But a police should not come when a child is in danger all by himself. There has to be a social worker. There has to be somebody from Child Protection Authority together with the police who will deem that the child is unsafe and the child needs to be taken away immediately. Now, I will tell you, not all child protection reports that come to child protection need an immediate removal. There has to be investigation. But what I'm saying, this child is an established case of abuse and neglect and foster care involvement. It therefore means that when you see a video, when you get a call that this child's life is in danger, you go immediately and remove the child. There is no need for further investigation. And I know that I'm going to get a lot of comments and a lot of comments on my Facebook or WhatsApp calls, but I am okay because right now I am fuming and I'm mad because this is not a brand new case. This is not a happenstance. This is an established child who has received for years services from CPA. And as a result, that the child is still with you. I know the child is safe right now, Auntie, but I'm saying for CPA to call you and say, well, we're coming for the child tomorrow. That child should have been taken away since yesterday and placed in protective care. There is no need. But you see, again, Grenada is so limited in what we do. And I'm calling on authorities right now listening to me, and those who will hear and look at this video tomorrow and tonight. I'm calling on you. It is time for us to have organizations and institutions that are well established by government to take care of our children, the hurting children. We do not have enough safe placement for children. We have a couple homes and they're all filled.
Mr. Panchoo?
We are about, yes, I hear you. And let me make this point before I lose it. Hold on. Yes. It's about time. Junior, we're getting ready for the 2021 budget. And so I'm calling on the authorities to ensure that we have budgetary allocation to take care of our children. Videos like that should be very seldom, but they are not seldom. Videos like that are happening almost every single day. Children are being abused. It's just that we're not hearing it and we're not seeing it because people don't have the guts to record it and to reach out. Thank you, Auntie, for it. Go ahead, and I know you wanted to make a point.
Auntie, before you make a comment, let me just say this here. I just sat back for a while. I just listening the interaction with you guys, and it's obviously and it's painfully obvious to me that CPA, in my observation, failed in this regard. And I hope that someone from CPA is watching this and could respond to this on what could be done and what would be done better the next time around. Because this could have been a totally different situation, a worse situation, where we could have been talking about a more devastating effect, after effect. So I hope someone from CPA is watching and paying close attention to what Dr. Panchoo is saying and what transpired here before and after and what's happening right now. Go ahead, Olivia, make your point.
Yes, Mr. Panchoo, it's really unbelievable and disheartening. I spoke to two high officials because after a number of persons reached out to me tonight and they gave me a few numbers to call, and I reached out to two high officials of government, and one, she lambasted me. She said you had no right to put out the video. And I said, you cannot say that to me, because if I didn't put out the video, there would be no hope for this child. And she said to me, no, you have no right. And she insisted, and I let her know that is the only way I could get help. Then she gave me a number to call another high official again. And this one was saying to me, well, you know, you shouldn't put out the video the same way. And oh, well, she would have to find out first, and they would have to investigate. Lo and behold, she called back. Well, look, I heard your story. I heard the story from the home. I heard the story from CPA, and things cannot work overnight. You cannot expect me to resolve things in 5 minutes. I said, I know that, but in the meantime, this child's life is in danger, and something needs to be done now. And they keep going on and on. I had to say to her, thank you very much. Have a nice day. And I proceeded to find other help. Now, the only reason you see maybe something happen is another lady who had him the first time. She reached out and she really went out of her way. She sent the video to a family member, and the video went to one of the officers at the Gulf Police Station who directly works with CPA, and he had a look at the video, and he really reached out because he went, he spoke to the mother, and he said that she didn't give him a nice response. Instead of that, she said to him, take the clothes and drop it for him. I don't want it here. And he said, I cannot do that. And he came, he spoke to me, and he said, you know what? I really appreciated the video, because he said, I feel hot because I had to call you the last time because they gave me the instruction and asked you to return the child. Had I known, I would have never asked you to do that, because this child is very unsafe. And that is what I was saying to the worker. I said, listen to me. I am not doing anything to really bring down my sister. I am just looking for help both for her and for the child. Because if that child remain, he can either develop hatred and harm her, or she could harm him, and somebody would be in trouble. It would result in death. So that is all I was asking CPA, to come on the grounds, talk to persons. I told them I'm not going to send you to any special persons. Just come around the area, choose random persons, speak to them, and find out what is going on. Because the situation is one that needs help right away. You cannot wait. You
Come,
need to act speedily.
Yeah.
come now.
I
Listen, Junior.
Mhm.
Junior, let me tell you something. Okay. Part of what I'm saying is political. What I'm saying is politically correct. Junior, I have worked in the United States for Child Protection Authority.
Mhm.
When a video like that surfaces, the police and a social worker goes to the home and puts that child in a transport and takes him. So, Auntie, let me tell you this. Do not call back that minister. But if you have reason to talk to her, tell her that I say that she is wrong and you are right. You are right for posting the video. She is absolutely wrong.
Yes. Hold on, Pancho. We got a caller on the line here. Caller, your live. Caller, your live. Go right ahead.
Hi, Junior. Hi, Junior. So basically, I'm not too sure if there's another part of the video, but I only saw one video with the mother pulling her child to go home, right?
Yes.
And I do believe that there's always three sides to a story,
Yes.
and we cannot compare Grenada system with America, because we know how we grew up. And to me, when I look at that video, there's a lot of message that I'm getting. Number one, if the aunt so care about her nephew, why didn't she, if he listened to her and he come to her house, why didn't she tell the little boy, okay, stop resisting from your mom and just go home and I'll take care of it? Why did she put it on Facebook in the first place? That's my question. Number two, if the child was taken from the mom at the age of 8 months, why didn't the aunt went there? If she's so concerned now, why didn't she try to get the child from 8 months? And my other question is, if the mom is so bad, how come she still have the older one living there and he's not being abused? So I'm just missing something. So I just want to find out what's really going on.
Okay. All right. Caller.
Because to me, I just
No, you got some valid
Sorry?
points. You got some valid points. Olivia?
Yes, Junior.
story. So I'm just basing on that story that I see.
Right.
And you
Olivia,
cannot compare
Olivia, did you hear the
Canada
question?
with, sorry,
Yes, I heard the question.
let's say Canada. My question to you is, you said that the child was being taken away from the mom at the age of 8 months. So my question to you, were you involved at the time? Why didn't you try to get the child from the child welfare at that time? Why is it now that the child is older and he's back with the mom, the problem is going on? And my other question is, because I know Grenadian, if me and my sister not talking, and anything that she does, I'm gonna try to get her in trouble. So I don't know if you doing her to spite your sister by posting the video. That's how I'm seeing it. I could be wrong. I don't want to say that that's what you're doing and you're the aunt and you're trying to help out. And another thing, instead of you posting the video on social media, maybe you could have been recording the video, but why didn't you talk to the child since he likes you and come to your house and he's listening to you? Why didn't you tell him, you know what, stop resisting your mom, because at the end of the day, even though you're 12, 13, 14, and your mom said, let's go, you have to go. Even though she's abusive, you have to listen. This child was, I didn't
Wow.
see the mom abusing the child in the video. All I see is that she's pulling him to go home. And this is what typical Grenadian parents do.
I call her. Give her a chance to respond. Olivia, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, Kola, I'm glad you made your points, but I think you are very far from reality. I could not have gone to take that child at 8 months. As I said to you, I have my own challenges. If you go to take a child from foster care, you have to have everything and by all means necessary to take care of that child. I am not in a position or have been in a position to have taken him. She wanted me to do that on many occasions, and I said to her, the first one you seen in the video doesn't even need to be with her, because he's one that right now, as I say, he's seasoned with abuse, because he's one that gets kicking drains and all these things. And just to let you know that child protection had already taken this one. It was just that the father was alive at the time. So the father made the request through child protection, and while he was on his way up, they didn't bring him to a home, they just handed him over to the father. However, the father got sick and he died. So the first one is back with her. And he gets his abuse the same way. The only reason that she cannot challenge him now, I understood, is that he stands back to fight with her. So she cannot abuse him as she do with this younger one. Now, if you were looking at the videos and you were looking, he wasn't resisting to go home. He is afraid. And she's saying to him, let us go home. When I go home, I'm going to deal with you. In Grenadian terms, if somebody tell you when you get home, they're going to deal with you, we know what they mean. When you reach home, I'm going to give it to you. So this child does not want to go. And it's not the first time. It's not the second time. It's not the third time. The video you are looking at, there were worse things happening to him. She took him and she tried to cross the river with him, and he fell and he knocked his head. Then she went out on the main road and she kicked him and she cuffed him. One of our bus driver was passing, and when he was passing back, he asked if he died. And I said, no, he didn't die. They took them away. So the video you are seeing is not a matter that he is resisting, and I do not want him to go home. I said to her, come, let us reason this story before you leave. I said, you have the other one with you. Let him tell us exactly what it is was going on. And by trying to cross-question him, I was able to get stories from him. Because the child, I didn't mention everything, because he stuffed his mouth with a panty. And I said to him, why did you stuff his mouth? He said to me, I didn't do that. And I said, you need to tell your mother what you did. And then he said, no, I didn't stuff his mouth with a panty. I used a jersey. So I said to him, you know crime, and you do not need to do your brother that. And on many occasions, they came down here to bed, and I saw the abuse. And that is why I would not leave him in their hands to kill him. I have to reach out, and that is why I posted the video, so somebody could help. And I'm very sure that you are glad to look at it.
Okay, so now that I listened to that, because the video that I saw, it didn't have all of that. But my question to you, did anybody in authority ever check out your sister to see if she's right in the head, and to see like why? Because obviously people abuse, people take revenge on children or their spouse or whatever. So obviously maybe your sister have a problem that she needs to vent. Maybe when you guys was growing up, maybe your mom probably used to abuse her, and now she's taking it on her kids. So there's always a reason for everything.
Yeah,
and
but Carla,
I don't
Carla,
think
let me just interject. Let me interject something here real quick, because I was kind of taken aback when you asked the question as why did when you look at this video, it's obvious that you see that child is resisting going with the mother. Did you stop for a second to try to ask, like, why is he resisting so much?
I did. Like, as she said that the mom was telling the child that, okay, you should, like, when we go home, I'm going to deal with you. I didn't listen. I didn't hear anything in the video. All I'm seeing is just I heard the aunties talking. so I didn't really hear anything. But so that's why when I comment on Facebook, I ask the question, why is the child resisting? What is going on home? Why is the child don't want to go with the mom? And if he's 9 years old, because at 9 years old, like when I was 9 years old, I couldn't pull away from my mom, even though she wanted to beat me, I still have to go. So I was asking that question, and the fact that he did not grow up with her, that means he does not have a connection. So I don't know why they will take a child from a parent and then send him back. So I was questioning as to why the bigger one was living there and the smaller one was taken away. So I was trying to figure. So now I kind of understand what the auntie is saying. So now I can see it as a different level. So I think if that's the case, that both children should be taken away from the mom, but it shouldn't be publicly on Facebook and all those stuff. They should do it. Like, I just think that it should be done, because at the end of the day, he's a little boy.
Okay, I caller. We get your point. Thank you so much. We got another caller on the line. Real quick, let's take this next. Thank you.
No
caller.
problem.
All right, caller on the WhatsApp. Go right ahead.
Yes, good night.
Yeah, and turn down. Caller on the WhatsApp. Turn down your background. If you have any other background audio playing, could you turn it down?
Good night. Good night.
I'm getting a feedback.
Yes. Okay. If I could respond.
Yes.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Go ahead.
Right now, before I give my perspective on the situation, this last caller.
Yes.
That called, I think she's completely out of reality, and I'm wondering if she has children. And if it is that she has any children, if she would abuse her child or children like that. Now, I happen to be relatively close to the situation.
Okay.
And I witnessed the abuse. And I took it my personal responsibility to go to the Child Protection Authority. Right? Because I saw the child face was all scratched. He showed me. I asked him, can I take a picture? He told me yes. So with his consent, I took the picture. And I went to the Child Protection Authority and I said to them, how it is can you have a situation where a mother would have taken away a child from a mother from since 8 months, and now 9 years after, without any prior training, so that the mother can have a reception of that child and expect for this child to bond. I further went on and I told the people in the Child Protection Authority that even the first brother, the bigger one, doesn't even deserve to be with this mother. What I'm telling you is factual. No malice, nothing, so it's factual. This child, on a number of occasions, during school time, he flagged me right down, drop him in Walton, and during school time, going and fish in the sea. And that is not on a stone, on boat with people in the ocean. Right? So you have a situation where you have a parent who has chosen her own way of life, her lifestyle, and that is her prerogative. Right? But this young lady is totally not in a position to take care of none of them. So that if this first child, a couple of months ago, there was a video posted where he had a cutlass with a group of people, right? He engaged in a fight with a cutlass that was on video. 10 years.
Wow.
And I am saying to you, based on what we've seen, if this first one is not taken away also from her, we have a bandit in the making. Sorry to put it that blunt, but that is the reality. That is the reality. So when you hear people ranking and rate because they saw the video, those persons, they are not concerned about this child, right? And you know what hurt me? You know what hurt me? As a father, I hate to see people take advantage of other people. Hate to see people take advantage of people. And having gone to the Child Protection Authority, I said to them, you all need to do an investigation on the ground Because you go in the neighborhood and almost everybody you speak would tell you of the abuses that these children go through. You're telling me everybody against her? Right? So if the people had done the work, when I spoke to them, if they had gone to do the investigation, they would have seen that this woman is unfit to take care not only of one, but of both of them. So they refused to do what they had to do and take this child under all this abuse the same day and brought the child back in the care of the parent. You're asking for a mother. So when people talking, people must be reasonable, they must be rational, they must be unbiased. And this has nothing to do with anybody against anybody. This is the situation, and that's the reality on the ground. And if you have other parents, you see, you know what baffles me? We have a home up in Sotes, Cedar's home for women. It should be home for battered women. We are concerned to take big women, hardback women, and secure them in a home with all the services and accommodation. But you have this little child, and post it on the video, and so many people are against for posting it on the video. What is that we come into? We have become an island of carelessness, and people rather to see stupidness happen, foolishness, dotishness, and they condone those things and they like it. But I'm saying to you, if I had the opportunity, I would have fired all Administration Protection Authority. Because then they had the prior knowledge and they failed to do what they're supposed to do to protect the child. And I'm wondering if some of these people in the child, well, in fact, one person I know, one of them who dealt with the child in the first case, she don't have children. So she cannot appreciate that. But I understand the next one who gave the order to send him back, she has 2 children, and I'm wondering if she's going to allow her children to be treated that way. So people must look at this thing in perspective, and something needs to be done so that this child can be protected and he can have a bright future like all of us want to have. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, caller. I appreciate your input on it. A lot said there, Pancho.
Yes.
Very, yeah, go ahead.
Junior, I have a lot to say about this one. I want to go back to the female caller previous to this gentleman. I listened to the questions of that caller and my heart sank. It sank, Junior, because it tells me that that's the thought processes that happen in the mind of many, many, many people. Those were not questions of clarification. She claimed that she got clarification, but those questions were questions of accusation. Remember, in studying people, you realize that. So she was accusing. And 2 things I want to reference here. One is that, could it be that she wants to spite? That's what she's thinking. That's how she feels about it. And I am sure that Auntie is not about spiting. What I'm seeing there is not about spite. And the second thing that I am appalled about is why didn't she encourage the young man to go quietly with the mother? Let me say this, Junior. Nobody, and remember, this is a 9-year-old child. This is a child. This is not even a teenager that could put up a physical and or emotional fight. This is a child. Who wants to go in an unsafe and violent environment? Nobody. As adults, we're scared. We lock our doors because we do not want anything to happen to us. This child was going directly unabated in a dangerous situation. He had to resist. Poor little 9-year-old muscles held on to that wire there for dear life. And I'm saying, boy, he has a lot of strength. Of course, he had to have a lot of strength because his adrenaline is pumping, because his brain is manufacturing all the adrenaline and cortisol so that he could protect himself. And that's where he got his strength from. So to say that why didn't he go and obey? The boy was going in and abusive. He was going to get a cut ass. That's what he was going into. And let me say this here. Thank you, caller, for echoing the sentiments. Because the male caller, because the third thing I want to take umbrage with the female caller is that don't look at the older son and think he's okay. That older son is a time bomb waiting to explode. He has his fair share of abuse, and he is now at the point that one of these days we are going to read about him, and when his anger overcomes him. Trust me, I know that one. That one is we are going to read about it later. And then fourthly, Auntie, I want to say I stand with you solidly. I don't know you, but I'm glad you posted that video. And don't let any government minister or any police or any other person tell you that you made a bad choice or decision on this one. No, I have seen many videos, and I really don't care about them being posted. And I think it's a waste of time. But this one that has Grenada on a buzz right now because of the abuse that we see towards a child. It's hard to look at. There is no question. It's not a palatable video. It's not something that you want to sit there and enjoy, but it is a video that is one that is crying out for help. And I'm glad we are becoming sensitized to the needs and plight of children. There are too many abused children. We just did, Junior, during the month of, during the COVID months, you know, I was posting so many things from CPA and on the Ministry of Social Development. We were posting stuff about protecting our children in COVID time from abuse. And here is a clear-cut example of wanton, indiscriminate abuse of a child. And I'm glad that Anne posted it, because if she didn't, that child would still be there tonight in that abusive home.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. We got another caller real quick. We got a call on the line. Call on the WhatsApp. Go right ahead.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Hi.
As I speak right now, my heart is very heavy in this situation.
Yes. Okay, caller. Before you go any further, before we go any further, could you turn your background audio down or off, because it's kind of coming back into the broadcast and we're hearing it back in.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you better now. Go right ahead.
Okay, I'm saying my heart is heavy to see a child who cannot really defend themselves as us as an adult. It's heartbroken as a mother watching this video, and then to hear such ridiculous comments about, you know, people will be saying. This child, you can see clearly what's going on, is abuse. Anybody, whether you know it or you do not know it, as long as you use words that will, you know, a threat, and especially when you go home, what will happen. We all know, rightfully said what Dr. Panchoo is saying, that we all know what will happen. But before we wait until you get home, basically what you're seeing inside of the video is totally atrocious abuse is going on with that child, and it's fear for his life. Who knows when he go home if it's not the mother and the brother also will, you know, because even down to the brother was trying to assist in helping him, his hands being removed from the line. And my assessment could be wrong. This woman looked like she's mentally disturbed, but this child has been feared for their life. Child protection, the police, every authority has been failed here, because many things could have happened within that space of time that they are waiting to investigate. Investigate what? You're seeing clear that there's an abuse going on. This child is crying out for help. And then another question is bothering my mind. Is this only the aunt was standing there watching and seeing this is going on? There was nobody else to assist or to speak to this mother, to take the child from the mother. It's just only the aunt was standing there. And based on what I've heard, if the bigger son is being abused also, that child protection is definitely, for me, sad to say, it is a waste of time then, because you cannot be saying the name that you're protecting children and then you're leaving them in this sort of manner. I mean, this is Child Month now. Why wait until Child Month to do something? You have got to beat the iron while it's up. And right now, I don't think that child should even spend a minute, or not even a second inside of that home. An immediate response should have been done immediately.
Yes.
When we call about community help and we call out for assistance, this is what we talk about community. I'm wondering, is this the aunt was around when this is happening? Come on. This is not an adult. This is a child who can't even really help themselves, himself, a matter of fact. The mother is totally abusing there from day one. You don't have to wait for home to finish it. This is day one. And I applaud the aunt. I applaud her. I would have done the same thing.
Yes.
I applaud her. I don't care who vexed about the video being posted. Sometimes you have to meet the media to get results because sometimes too many things are being swept under the carpet and an authority does nothing about it.
Yes.
Nothing. I wish if I was in the position to help that little boy. To be honest, I know what's abuse. I can share the pain of that child is going through. Fear that, and to leave home, you know, you're on your roof, having your mother, your parents home at 4 something in the morning. Come on.
Yes.
Come on, Grenadians, open your eye. This is reality hit for us. Many of us don't care. Many of us just talk because we can talk. Yes. That's my contribution. I trust that the authority and those who are in higher places will do something immediately. And I trust that the child is not still at that home. My aunt, the aunt, please, I thank you and I applaud you for everything that you're saying, everything that you have done. I am 100% behind you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate you. I know we have a lot to say there, Pancho, but I just want to take one other call. Calls are coming in fast and furious. Caller, go right ahead.
Hello, Junior. I am on. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you. Go right ahead, caller.
Yes, Junior. I must say something here. I know this young lady. And let me tell you, the first son that she has, he went through a lot of abuse also. So I don't want anybody to blame him that he's helping on all of that. He doesn't even know what he's doing because he went through I was present one time and she was beating that child in his head and I had to go to her and I had to say, don't do that. You don't do that to your child. So she has a little problem. I spoke to her before. She's a nice young lady, but just something about her with this abuse that she abused the kids. I don't know what it is. She needs help as a mother. And the right people are not really handling this as they should because she needs a lot of help. So I just want to say, I don't know. Right now, I'm like so sad and I'm trembling here and I can't believe I didn't even know she had a second son because I was there and I was telling her, do not for the first son. I couldn't believe she was just beating him in his head. And I said, you're crazy. How could you do that? So a lot of abuse is going on there. I don't know I really don't know when she was growing up as a child. You know, I really do not know. But a lot of intervention has to go in that family. So that's all I have to say. Okay? So somebody needs to go in and even talk to her. She needs a lot of help, you know, because she's a nice person. You know, she's a nice person. But that aspect of her, she's very abusive. You know, so please, who is out there, please just help the family. Just help them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pancho, I want you to comment on it, right? But also, I really think that we need to try to angle some assistance for the mother. I really think that we shouldn't forget and just, yes, she did this. Yes, she's doing this. Yes, she probably did this before, but I think that she is crying out for help. She needs assistance.
There's no question, Junior. There's no question that the entire family, including her mom and her sister or siblings, it's a holistic therapy and healing is a holistic thing, Junior. And thank you, caller, for saying that, because that last caller, there is no question that she is a troubled person. We don't know the origin of her abuse, and at this time, for this discussion, maybe that is not as important as what we're seeing her behavior is. In other words, in time, when we offer help to her, when help is offered to her, maybe that will be revealed what is causing her to adapt and adopt these kinds of violent parenting discipline and skills. That is not appropriate by any means. This is not, we do not tie children. And if she is resorting to tying her son, it tells me that something is wrong with her perception about how to discipline and how to parent. And just the fact that this child was taken away from her is evidence enough to say that at that time, and maybe even now, well, not maybe, but even now, she is still not a fit parent. Okay? So here is the thing, Junior. The violence that we see, I am very scared for her son, her older son. I am scared that he has learned enough violence in his life that one of these days the violence is going to be manifested in behaviors that are not appropriate. That's what anger does. Anger, we could suppress anger as much as we want, but one of these days it's going to explode. And when it does, we are surprised. People may say, well, I'm surprised. I never thought he could have done that. I never thought she could do that. But it's because it's like a festering sore that is there, and it's waiting for an opportunity to come out. And that is the anger that we are going to see with the older son. But bless the heart of the younger one. The younger one recognized abuse, and he is resisting it. And I am glad that he is going to be safe from that mother right now.
Yeah. All right.
I'm hoping that it's going to take a long time for him to heal. It's going to take a long time for him to heal. So during that period, I'm hoping that he'll be okay.
All right. Let's take a call on the WhatsApp. Call on the WhatsApp. Go right ahead.
Hello. Good night.
Hey, good night.
Yes. Well, I know the mother personally.
Yes.
And I can say that she has a problem, because I remember her like going to school in Samaritan, and she always used to be in a fight, and she have a problem. And I remember the first son, he was like some months, and then I don't know what happened between she and the dad, and she came up with the son in Nonpareil, and she put the son on the father van, and she was like, I live in the effing I say, and I don't care if rain come away. When people were saying to her, you cannot just leave a child there and go. And she was like, she don't care, and she just leave the child. I thought she leave the baby like a baby. She left him on the father van, like in front of the van outside, and she go. And then, she smokes a lot, like, around the kid. I even see her time, hitting the little boy in the head. That's the first one. I never know she had a second son, but the first one, I see her already beating him. And I used to see this little boy sometimes walking or flagging a ride, as the caller said a while ago. I don't know where he's going, but he always flagging a ride to go somewhere. And I mean, if you have your child at that age and just letting him go anyway, that's to show that, she's unfit to look after children, because you can't just have your kids just going all about, so making them flag ride and go all about. Somebody could take him and go somewhere, because as people say, Grenada coming like Trinidad now. People just kidnapping people. You always hear children missing. So I'm saying she's unfit to look after the kids. And I think that, whatever Olivia done, I think she do something good. People been bashing her on Facebook and saying, oh, she shouldn't do this, oh, she shouldn't do that, and stuff like that. But I believe she's looking out for her nephews.
Yes, yes. Thank you,
So
caller.
that's my concern.
Thank you, caller. We appreciate your input on this topic.
Okay.
I think let me see if we got your audio back. Yeah, Pancho, this story is so emotional for me and a lot of people, right? Abuse in Charlie. You could never justify it, man. You could never justify it. I could never understand it. It's a long-term effect on the child. Long-term effect on the child. Hurt people, and it's just like a never ending. It keeps going unless you break the chain. But I want to focus some attention, and I want to focus the authority attention, of course, on assisting the child, but helping the mother. People might say, well, why do we want to help her? Look at what she's done. Look at what she's done. But I think that is a cry for help. She's crying out for help. We need to understand her story. We need to understand what is taking her, what would bring her to be so destructive in her children's life. What is her story? I contacted the mother today. I contacted the mother today. And immediately what I got from her is that anger. And she lashed out at me. And the last thing that she said to me was a few favorite 4-letter words. And and I was very calm with her. I'm saying, okay, I just want to help you. I just want to hear your story. And she was so frustrated, which I understand she's frustrated. But we need to find out and talk to her, counsel her, hear her story, and see how we can help her. Break that chain. Break that chain. And I think focus has to be, we need to focus on her and assisting her. As far as the kids are concerned, absolutely. At this point in time, I don't think that she is in a position to take care of those kids. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I want to
Mr. Panchoo and Mr. George.
Yeah.
What I found to be so strange is that this young lady, my sister, she at one time used to care for many children. There are persons who used to go to work and she would stay and take care of the children. And I'm saying to her, why it is that you took care of so many children and now God has blessed you with 2 and you're not taking the time off to take care and to care for them? And I'm trying to ask her these questions to get her focused. And she's not willing to be focused. I'm not doing anything that would to make her look bad. I'm just trying to seek help on her behalf. And by sharing the video, I wanted somebody to speak to her, and I'm glad you tried reaching out to her, and I'm glad you saw the type of person she is, because you're trying to help her, and every time you try to steer on that path to getting her to focus, she would just cuss off everybody, and that it is so bad. So I really wish that somebody could really steer on that course that she needs to take. Maybe if the children are taken away and then she gets some form of counseling, she gets some form of help, which I really hope that she would open herself to take it. It would be really nice. It would be really nice for her. I really hope that she open up herself and she really focus. And as I said to her, you need to get a little work and occupy your mind instead of you smoking and lately I understand she started drinking as well. So she need to change her lifestyle. Our lifestyle determines our behavior.
Yeah. But there is a deeper story. She has a deeper story. That's what you're seeing is just the surface. I've heard so much stories on this very sad program right here where people are reacting to certain things and they might say, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? And when you look and you really, really look deep into the story, you would realize of the traumatic and the anger and what they're going through because of what happened to them in the past. She's just I want to help her. Pancho, I want to dedicate some assistance to this lady. Personally, I want to dedicate some assistance to her to understand and help her break that chain. If she need the assistance, I'm going to help.
Well, Junior, there is no question that she does need some assistance. Maybe not just some, a whole lot of assistance. And I don't know the person, and so I guess probably we both are going to get to know her in future from henceforth. The point here is that we don't know. We don't know from the origin or the source of her anger. There is a lot of anger coming from her, and you have to add, Junior. Do not underestimate the use of substance. She is using substance. We don't know how the substance have affected her or is affecting her. So it therefore means compounded with life stressors, maybe financial stress, maybe the lack of social support network. Whatever it is, these things are compounded by the use of substance, and now she is thrust with a child who is 9 years old, whom she has not bonded with because he spent the very first couple years of his life away in foster care. So they do not have that bonding attachment relationship. That is a serious problem. So she's already stressed out, and we don't know. So Junior, I agree with you that we should reach out to her and see what help that she is willing to. It is probably going to cost some money to be able to give her rehabilitative services, therapy, counseling for her anger, her substance, maybe working with someone to provide her with a job so that she can provide for her basic necessities. Maybe she's all stressed out because of some of that too. So we don't know the origin of her stress, but we know she's stressed, we know she's angry, and we know she is hurting. And all of her behaviors are now directed to her 2 children. That is where it is. And so I agree with you. She does need a lot of help. And we're gonna have to reach out to her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I'm going to take this final call and we're going to wrap it up because this conversation has been going on for quite a while. We got to wrap it up. So let's just take this last caller here. Caller on the WhatsApp, you're live. Go right ahead.
I've been listening to all the comments that were made.
Yes.
And one thing that I want to say is this. We cannot enable abuse. Abuse is abuse. Yes, the mother may have experienced abuse perhaps when she was a child. That doesn't justify her abusing her child. She needs help, that is true. I heard the doctor saying that the resources in Grenada are limited. Yes, it's true, it's limited, but our resources out there. You understand? It's to hold the community and CPA especially accountable for what has transpired. Because I am a student studying social work, and the primary mission of the social worker is to help the vulnerable people in society. And you have to hold these organizations and them accountable for their actions. This is the problem in Grenada. We take all this foolishness from these organizations and we make excuses. Wrong is wrong and right is right. And CPF failed the mother, they fail the children, society as well. We cannot see something like this. And the caller was saying, the previous caller said, oh, this is how Grenadians discipline their children. This is not how Grenadians discipline their children. You could see clearly that this is abuse. There's a difference between disciplining a child and abusing a child. When you discipline a child, it comes from a place of love. Abuse comes from a place of anger, frustration, and most likely abuse that you experience as a child. And if something is not done at this point in this child's life, including his brother, then we will have a domino effect. So they experience the abuse, and when they get older, they will also abuse their own children or their partners. And also, this is a reason as to why some children bully other children in school, because this child is defenseless. And all this anger and frustration he has bottled up inside, then he will go to school and take out on other children. So as a society, we need to start changing this mentality. We're living in a technological era where if you are not fully informed about something, get yourself informed and think before you speak, because sometimes we say things and it does not help the situation, it makes it worse. So for me, based on everything I have heard, too much blame is being put so much on the mother, but we have to hold the Ministry of Social Development and CPA accountable for the abuse children are experiencing in Grenada, because their responsibility is to advocate on behalf of the oppressed and the vulnerable.
Thank you.
And when you choose to take up in these areas, you have to make a commitment to solve the people, because the victim takes precedence in everything that you do. It's not about you. It's about the vulnerable. It's about the victim.
Thank you, caller.
So this is my point on everything I've heard so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much, caller. Pancho, let's wrap it up here. Let's wrap it up. But this, I think, I mean, we're going to wrap up the conversation, but a lot needs to be done in the background of this. This is not going to be a conversation that just a show that we have here and it's going to vanish away. I really want to look deeper into this and make sure that, one, the child and the children are safe and secure, and two, the mother gets help. Pancho, you're the professional in this field. Go ahead.
Absolutely, Junior. Absolutely. There is no question here that, so let me summarize. One, you know, I know quite a number of people have a lot of critical comments about CPA, Child Protection Authority. I want to say that Child Protection Authority is operating with a lot of constraints. Of course, small island state, limited funding, limited trained people, limited foster care alliances. So they're operating under severe strain, and it makes their job easier. And I'm not making an excuse for CPA, but I want us to be cognizant of that fact, that a lot of times CPA is not in a position to do preventative intervention. In other words, they see something stirring, boiling, they get a report and they're monitoring it. And sometimes they don't have the capacity to do that. And so a lot of times they are reacting to allegations of direct abuse. Take, for instance, what happened with this video. Already the person is in the system of care for CPA, but they are saying, oh, we are still doing investigation. After 3 days, they have not yet picked up the child. That doesn't make sense. So I'm saying they work under severe constraints. However, Junior, I want to end with you and collaborate with you with the intention that there are several victims here. I do not want anyone to leave this program tonight thinking that we were bashing the mother for being a bad mother. No, that's not what we're doing. We're saying that the mother is challenged and she needs help with parenting and life skills. There's no question about that. So tonight as we leave, we have to understand that this mother is a mother that is crying out for help, psychological help, and other help. So we have to investigate that piece to decide what kind of help she needs. However, my major concern is for this 9-year-old child, for his safety, and for what the kind of meaning that he is going to make of the rest of his life of this world. Will he find a parent who will provide him with love, unconditional love, attention, appreciation, warm, enriching environment for him to thrive cognitively, physiologically, and as well as emotionally? That is what this young man needs. He needs a place of safety. He's only 9. He's not yet an adolescent. When he gets, by the time he turns into puberty and adolescent life, he should be in such a rich environment and safe and secure environment that he can make sense of his life. Because if we don't rescue him, the rest of the story is not going to be a pretty history for this young man. And Junior, I dare say, for his older brother too.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Olivia, any last words you want to leave with?
Yes, Mr. George and Mr. Pancho, I'm very grateful for what you have done through this program. And I really wish that all the parties involved would really get some help and that we would see better persons in society, including my sister who needs the help. And I really wish, as I said, that she would open up to accept, because acceptance is the first thing that she needs to really move forward. Because if you do not accept that you need help, then the help would not make sense. So I really hope and I really pray that things would work out well for my nephews, and that, you know, even as he would be removed, that I would try my best. As I said, it is not, I'm not in a position, my mom is neither in a position because she's not working, and the child needs, you know, he needs financial help, and so, and emotionally being around the same area is not healthy for him. So wherever he may be placed, I just hope that everything would work well and that I would be informed so I would know his whereabouts and that I can support from my end in whatever way I could. So once again, thanks for being a part of the program. Thanks to the many callers who shared their views and their concerns, and let us not leave trying to believe that I'm trying to belittle her. I'm just trying to get help for her, and that's what the program was about. So once again, thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys, Dr. Pancho. We went over time, as I said. This was a long pants, a long one. But you guys stuck in there. Dr. Pancho always answering the call, and I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your professional advice on this matter. And also, Olivia, thanks for what you have done and continue to be there to advocate for the young ones and also to reach out and help your sister. Guys, as I said, I think this is a bigger issue. First of all, it is a clear case of abuse. There is no sugarcoating. You can't sugarcoat that situation here. It's clear that the child have seen and been a victim of abuse, and he clearly didn't want to go there because he clearly knew what was going to be the fate when he get to the house. So he was apprehensive about going in, and we all see that sometimes. I mean, kids, communicate on many different ways, but this is a clear communication that he's very scared to go in his own home. But I want to focus the conversation a little bit on the mother, and we don't need to bash the mother, and we surely didn't do this on the program, and surely that was not the intention of the program here today. The intention of the program here today is to see how we can help everyone involved get the children away from the mother, and that is not necessarily negative. That's basically for the betterment of the children at this point in time, to allow the mother to get some assistance right now. She needs help. She needs help. And as much as she's lashing out right now, as much as she feel like she needs to lash out at whatever trying to come at her, good or bad, there might be people that coming at her in a negative way and she feel defensive. She should be defensive. But there are people that possibly coming out at her as well, like myself, genuinely, to see how we could offer her some assistance. And I think that she needs help, and we don't need to bash her. We need to listen to her. I think that's where it needs to be. We need to listen to her. There is more to her story than what we see on this video. There is a deeper reality. There is a deeper truth to her story, and her story needs to be heard. Again, we reached out to the CPA today. I personally made numerous calls to try to get a reaction. Was told that the person that's in charge of PR is currently on sick leave. Was unable to speak to the director. I was unable to speak to a number of persons in the CPA as it relates to this particular case. So I don't know the story from their end, but I'm sure very soon they're going to release something and we're going to hear something from them. But regardless of what they have to say after this. It's clear that somebody dropped the ball here. Somebody dropped the ball. And hopefully that everybody learned from this. Child Protection Service and everybody else learned from this, because this could have been a worse situation. This could have been worse. We could have been talking in a whole different conversation about this child right now. But we're not. So we have an opportunity to correct it. We have an opportunity to fix what was done. And hopefully they take this seriously. And everybody, sometimes when they hear people talking about them, they always put up a defense, and everybody feel like you come on the program and you're bashing this and you're talking about, no, we're looking for corrective measures. We're looking to make sure that this doesn't happen again. We're looking to make sure that we don't have a situation where we have to come back on this program or other platforms and talk about this again. So I hope that the CPA and everybody who witnessed and noticed and know that they dropped the ball on this to correct your actions right now. Do your job. Do your job to protect the children. And this is not bashing the CPA. This is just asking you to do what you're getting paid to do. Your job. Protect the children. Protect the children. I'm going to leave you on that note right here. I'm gonna leave it right there. And encourage everyone. As we say here, everyone has a story to tell. That's what we say. Right along live, everyone have a story to tell. If you have a story to tell, we're here with open ears to listen to you. We want to hear your story. Inbox us and let us hear your story, guys. Share your story. If you don't want to share it with us, you don't have to share it with us on the platform. We have behind the scenes people that could talk to you. If you have a situation, you need assistance, we're always here to help. Also, I got to tell you about this really quickly. Our friend over on the top 5, Hermelin. Hermelin is having this grand event. I want you guys to pay attention to this and support. We're family here, right? We are family here. Hermelin is having a virtual relationship summit. Yeah, a virtual relationship summit. And we need good relationships. Good relationships build good families, build good foundation for the kids. So Hermelin Virtual Relationship Summit, October 9, 2020. Real life, real answers. Want you guys to check out this. This is a 3-day seminar. It's called Get Your Groove Back. And there's a number of speakers that would help you to build a stronger relationship. The foundation of a good family is a loving relationship with husband, wife, whatever that relationship is. Communication is key. And Hermelin and our virtual relationship summit will engage in how you could do that. A very interesting program. It's a virtual relationship summit. Want you guys to check it out. We're going to paste the link in the chat. And guys, please be a part of this event. It's going to be a really, really exciting event. Big up Hermelin on that massive event. Also, guys, I got to tell you this. If you have a business, and you want to get it off the ground, there is no better place to advertise than on Ridealong Live. Yeah. Ridealong Live, multiple programs, diversity audience. Advertise your business on Ridealong Live with number of programs. We have the top 5. We have the Rise with Dr. Z in the morning time. We have, of course, the Ridealong Live program. We have the Showdown. We have tomorrow, which we have the Ride Trivia. Tons of programs here on Ridealong. We want you guys to get your business advertised. We don't just advertise, we market your business. Advertise on Ridealong Live. Inbox us, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Advertise your business on Ridealong Live. It pays to advertise. Guys, also, got to tell you about this. Social media for us, like social media for us. It's called Emoji. Emoji social media. Go to your app store right now and download Emoji, spelled Emooge. It's a social media platform where you could connect and communicate with friends and family the way how we know how to. No annoying blocking and all this stuff. It's Emoji. Emoji. Go in your app store right now and download Emoji, spelled Emooge. You would absolutely love it. It's a social media platform. Communicate the way how you know how to. All right? Emoji.com. Spelled emoji. The question is, do you emoji? Also, guys, got to tell you about this. It's a hand sanitizer, right? Hand sanitizer bottled by the Grenada Distillers Limited. Yeah? Coronavirus, you got to make sure that you sanitize. Before you go on, after you come out on the bus, you pump your gas, you want to sanitize. This sanitizer is 70% alcohol by volume, right? And it's available in Grenada right now. So I'll put the number on the chat where you can get your hand sanitizer bottled by the Grenada Distillers Limited. Get your hand sanitizer. Guys, programming note, Dr. Z comes up on Thursdays and Saturdays. Rise with Dr. Z. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being a part of our program. A long one today. Catch me again tomorrow. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for the conversations. Thanks for staying around. Bye-bye.
Hey, I got some good news for you. Looking for a passionate immigration lawyer with experience that spans over 2 decades? Someone trusted that serves immigrant families just like yours? Well, look no more. Now you can benefit from her personal and professional experience. Diane Winter Funding. Schedule a consultation now and get assistance with your immigration journey. Specialize in adjustment of status, B1 business visa, B2 visitor's visa, consular processing, deportation defense, naturalization, and more. Give us a call today at 813-815-3529. That's 813-815-3529 or online at winterimmigration.com. Attorney Diane Winter Funde. Law done differently.
Are you looking for some early cash for Christmas? Yes! Then join the fun online. Play Waggy Team Virtual Bingo. Because on Sunday, October 4th, from 6 p.m., you can win not 10, not 15, but a whopping $20,000 US cash. And the best part is, tickets are only $20 US. Available at gotofet.com or special box offices island-wide. And if you don't have any idea how to play, then visit our main office at Bruce Street Mall, where one of our agents will go through the process step by step. Remember, Sunday, 4th October, Waggy Tea Virtual Bingo is now $20,000 US. You don't want to miss this.
You're constantly thinking of food, but sometimes you just don't want to cook or want something a little different. That's when you call Tasties, preparing meals that you really love. Tasties, our mouth-watering food, would have you coming back every day. But hold on, we only prepare meals Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for now. Call early because we have a lot to serve and we would love to serve you. Tasties, we prepare the meals you love to eat. From macaroni pie to baked chicken, provision dumpling and saltfish, stewed chicken, curry chicken, baked chicken, rice and peas, salads, and more. Please call for the daily menu. Call 425-0624 or 403-0411. You can pick up your meals from us or we deliver it to you. Tasties, food that's delicious.